unattached to the modes of material nature. Means, see that material nature is to drive you with the fear or greed. It is very nature of the matter you are carrying, not just the matter of nature which is driving you. Because you are carrying the body, you can be driven only by fear and greed. It is not just the driver's mistake, it is a vehicle's mistake also. The vehicle, your body itself is a matter. Just 2 days before I was discussing with some of our ashramites about these administration rules. That time I was sharing an important insight which I wanted to share with all of you. Now, by the nature of the bio-memory, human beings need to be feeling certain level of fear and greed. If you don't even provide that much of material for them to be afraid of something and to be greedy of something, they will feel so empty inside. They will create unnecessary phobias. Height of fear. Suddenly something will happen. The unnecessary, reasonless, causeless phobias settle in your system if enough fear and greed is not supplied to your basic biomemory. By your nature, just because you are carrying a human body which is programmed with fear and greed, certain amount of fear and greed is required even to drive you. That becomes survival necessity. The administration is supposed to take care. You don't create the fear and greed in everybody the same level. No. There are some people, a little bit of fear and greed is enough. They will be full, they will run, start driving. There are some people, maybe more fear and greed is required for them to run. Some people who need more fear and greed, if you give them less fear and greed, they are in danger. Now they will start creating unnecessary phobias. Please understand. Many of your unnecessary phobias are created when you try to protect yourself from the basic amount of fear and greed which is required to run your life. I have seen many people. They try to protect themselves from the basic fear and greed which is needed to run their life without purifying their biomemory. If you purify your biomemory by actions, karma, and evolve, then move out of fear and greed, nothing wrong. You will be liberated. But without making your biomemory mature, if you try to move out of fear and greed, I can give you this one example. People who leave everything and go for Parivrajaka, Yatra, Agori lifestyle, Nagas. Without maturing your biomemory, if you leave everything and go, the small phobias, phobia of cockroach, phobia of scorpion, phobia of snake, small fears will take over your inner space. You will develop unnecessary phobias. I have seen there was a sadhu who had phobia about rivers. See, if you go near a river and have a fear that suddenly some flood may come, I will be flooded, that is okay. He will not even go on a bridge, well-built bridge where buses and trains can go. No. Forget about going on a bridge. He will not even see the river from the distance. How many phobias are there? God. When I read the list, I got the phobia of phobias. Phobias are pseudo-fear, perverted fear, like how pornography is perverted lust. Phobias are perverted fears. Never pornography lust can be transformed because it is perverted. It is impossible to transform it. Nor the phobias can be cleared because it is perverted. Impossible to clear. Almost, of course. Only working on your non-mechanical parts of the brain and the inner space, you can be free of this. By the mode of the material nature, you are driven by fear and greed. Mature your biomemory, then liberate yourself from the fear and greed. Before maturing your biomemory, if you try to escape from fear and greed, you will create unnecessary phobias. I have seen many sadhus. They try to escape from fear and greed, give up all their wealth, property, life, run away, but they have not matured their biomemory by building a yogic body and Vedic mind. When they go there, I see very clearly they are caught in the greed of polishing their kamandalu, fear of losing the 2 feet by 2 feet place where they sit and beg. I have seen sadhus literally beating each other, fighting with each other with their stick just for the place where they stand and beg. And when I investigated into their life, they have left crores worth of property in their hometowns, came out and became sadhus. It's true. It's not that they are born beggars. They left everything. One sadhu I remember very clearly, who had a huge property in Haryana, who was a farmer. Suddenly he got vairagya and left everything and went away. He was staying in Rishikesh. Maybe after 5-6 years, all his vairagya went down, his inspiration is gone, but his ego, he doesn't want to go back to his house and reclaim his property. So he is sitting there itself. His biomemory is not matured, but he has given up the fear and greed. What happens? I saw him fighting for the place, small 2 feet by 2 feet, on the banks of Ganges, where they sit and beg. That's a prime spot. Understand, when your biomemory is not matured, this happens. Many times, even in the West I have seen, when people come to me for phobias, to get healed of phobias, all I do is I give them some real fear, straightforward fear. Immediately they come out of phobias. Phobia is perverted fears which happens in you when your biomemory is not matured enough to handle the fearless, greedless zone, but you are forcing yourself into fearless, greedless zone. I always tell people, make your biomemory matured by building the yogic body and Vedic mind. Then go for the Parivrajaka. Go for Yatra. Before that, if you do, you will only be caught in unnecessary phobias, not in fearless zone. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore 562109. Contact 097422033311. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.